Hey, what's up, guys? It's your girl Steph. I hope everybody's doing fantastic. I have a pretty cool topic that I wanted to talk to you guys about today, which actually was brought up in our morning motivational call that I do with the team every weekday. And on one of those calls, we went over a book that's called The Four Agreements. Okay, Four Agreements. And it was crazy when we talked about it because I remembered a friend of mine had mentioned that book to me, like I think last year or something. But I never looked further into it, so kind of came back to me now. So and there's one of the agreements that we talked about. And I kid you not, like after that call we did, after that training, I went right away and bought the book because it was so powerful and it spoke to me personally. So that's why I come here today and I wanted to share this with you. So the one I want to talk about is the third of those agreements. Remember, I said the four agreements. I want to talk about the third agreement, which is don't make assumption. And just that title alone hit me because one thing I always tell people is I hate when people make assumptions about me or someone else, a situation, whatnot, you know. But that call also reminded me I have to be honest with myself because we all make assumptions. You know, like I hate when people do it, but sometimes I catch myself doing it as well, right? So I wanted to go over a few notes. So if I'm looking down, I have my notebook right here. And I wanted to, mention a few things to you guys. And I hope, some of it makes you think or some of it you can relate to, right? Because I know I did. I could relate to a few of those, So one thing that was powerful was whenever we make assumptions, we ask for problems. And that was powerful because I think everybody can relate to that because we assume something about, a situation and either we assume something and we get mad for no reason, right? And then start a fight and whatnot. Or the other way around, we assume something and the other person gets mad for assuming, something wrong. So either way, like doing that, we ask for problems. And the biggest issue with assumption is that we believe they're the truth. 80 to 90% of the things that we assume are not true. How often, and I know especially like a lot, it happens for most of us girls, but I know some guys too. How often do we sit there and like assume things about the guy that we with or the guy we talking to, or is he doing that or, he's not answering his phone, so he's probably doing this and this and that. That right there are assumption, and most of the time is not even the truth. We just expect the worst thing. And which also reminds me, a little bit off topic, but just saying that, I have this little quote hanging here. It says, if I can draw pictures so terrifying, why can't I draw a celebrity one? Completely off the topic, but it's the same thing. Like so often we imagine the worst things, why? Like we're stressing ourselves. So basically what it does is making assumptions. By doing that, we filling our body with emotional poison. We poison ourselves, we poison our thoughts. And the thing is, we move off of emotions, right? We move off of emotions. And if our thoughts are negative, our emotions are going to be negative. They work hand in hand. Just think about that. And the crazy part is, like, no matter how you do it wrong. Because if someone, tells us something, we make assumptions. If they don't tell us something, we still make assumption because we want to fulfill our needs to know and replace this need. We replace the need of actually communicating, and we make all sorts of assumption, but we don't have the courage to ask questions. And that right there is the key, because the way to keep yourself from making assumptions is to ask questions. What do you have to lose? Like, you ask a question and either your thought is going to be proved right or proved wrong. But if you don't ask, you keep making this story up in your mind, and it keeps bigger and bigger and bigger, and until at one point you explode. Why stress yourself over like something you don't even know if it's true? And I know, like, I'm someone, I always tell my friends, like, why are you stressing over something when you don't even know the facts yet, when you don't even know yet if this is the case? Find it out first. Like, my friends, that they can agree on that. Like, I always tell them that. But as I said, I also have to learn to implement that a bit more on myself too, because it happens to me too. But I think the key is to realize when you do it, like, basically catch yourself when you're doing it, and then reverse that, just stop, basically correct yourself while it's happening. And it's not going to happen overnight. Like, you have to train that. It's a habit, it's a habit, where was I? What I wanted to say? The thing also is, and I know I was very, how do you say that? But it happened a lot to me. And I just said, the other day, that I'm learning to get better with it. It's the fact that we assume that others think like us. They see life how we see it. They feel like how we feel. And that's something that I was guilty of. That's what I want to say. Guilty of, because a lot of time I expect people to react to situations the way I would react, or respond the way I would respond. And I have to learn that's not the case, because everyone is different. I can't assume someone, feels like, as I said, feels the same way or reacts the same way as I do, And the thing is, that assumptions hold you back. They do, And as I said, the only way for you to, keeping yourself from making those assumptions is to actually go out and ask questions. You maybe get a response that's going to hurt you, that you don't like, that's going to make you sad. But at least then you know what's up. You know what's going on. Instead of sitting there driving yourself crazy, going on and on and on, just by making, like, having the story in your head, by making assumptions about a situation. So it's just something, that I want you guys to think about. And one thing that I'm going to leave you with is a quote. It says, if we change how we look at things, the things that we look at change. So sometimes we have to change our perspective. We have to change how we react to things. Because everything in life, it's not about what happens to us, but how we react to it. Do you want to stress yourself over stuff? Or do you rather want to have facts and then be able to react to those? So yeah, I hope, you could take some value from it. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys can find something in there that you can relate to yourself, to, situations you were in, caused through others, caused to yourself. I think it's like we all guilty of it. So just something, that I want to give you guys to think about. All right. Peace out. I see you soon.